Welcome to View from Bio, a special coverage of Bio 2014 in San Diego. My name is Michal Kaczmarski, and I'm America's and Europe editor of FDA magazine. I'm joined now by Terry McAuliffe, the Governor of Virginia. Governor, welcome.
Good to be with you. Thanks.
Thank you very much for finding time to speak to us. And first question, time. Since we're talking about time, how long have you been here for, and how many meetings have you had already?
Well, we got in on Monday night, and late Monday I was in Richmond, and then we left our capital to come here, and we've been here in meetings all day yesterday, and then we'll be in meetings all day today. So we'll have several dozen meetings myself. We hosted a reception for folks, and we attended many receptions. We had a lot of one-on-one meetings with businesses who are doing business in Virginia, and some who we're encouraging to move their business to Virginia. Then we have an event. I'll be introducing Secretary Clinton today at lunch, and then we'll have some more meetings. Then we'll leave early at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
All right. And you're mostly meeting with investors, with potential employees as well? Yeah,
listen, bio, this is the future. This is a huge growth area. I think there's 3 governors out here. If I were governor of state, this is where I would be, because there are about 15,000 folks here who are all in business. We already have about 28,000 folks in Virginia who work in the bio space, about 1,400 different establishment companies. But we want to grow the bio space. We have all the assets in Virginia. Very low taxes, low regulation. We incentivize businesses through our R&D tax credit, angel investor tax credits, refundable capital gains. So we are very much interested bringing businesses. We have great universities, University of Virginia, Virginia Tech, George Mason, Old Dominion University.
Do you happen to also have a cluster or a place, a research park?
We have several.
Specializing in biotech?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, they're generally aligned with our universities, but they're spread all throughout the Commonwealth. Obviously, Northern Virginia, which is close to the capital. The advantage that Virginia has, we're close to NIH, we have DARPA, we have Food and Drug Administration. As you know, we have a lot of military assets and Department of Pentagon, we have the CIA. So we have all big data, which matches with what you need to do to grow a bio business. So the assets that we have in Virginia, I think, are unparalleled in the country, and we really want to take it to the next step, and that's why we're here today.
While speaking to investors, while looking for investors, are you focusing mostly on American companies or companies from abroad? And if abroad?
In the bio space, there's huge companies from all over the globe here. So to us, there are no borders. It is a global economy. As you may or may not have known, just last week I announced one of the largest deals ever done, Chinese investment in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Tranlin Corporation, which will be doing paper products, just announced they're investing $2 billion, over 2,000 employees coming to the Commonwealth of Virginia. So, in fact, next week I'll be heading off to China, and then we'll be going over to Farmington for the air show. There are no borders when you're doing business. It is a truly global economy, and that's why we're here today. So we're meeting with folks from all over the globe.
But there's also no borders when it comes to competing for business and investments. Do you see emerging markets as your potential competitors as well? Places like India or China, they seem so...
Yeah, listen, you have, as I always say, I get out of bed every day as the governor of Virginia. I compete against 49 other states and 200 nations around the globe.
Right.
Absolutely right. It is a global economy. We're competing against everybody. We have assets in Virginia that other places don't have. As I say, we're next door to the United States Capitol. Obviously, the biggest funder historically in the bio space has been the NIH. So you can literally land at Dulles International Airport, and if you drew a radius around of about 20 miles, you could hit all the key players in the bio space and who is investing and coming up with great new ideas. So I do believe that we have the best assets of if you're thinking of getting into this business or growing and expanding your business.
Well, speaking to investors, do you find it difficult to convince them to come to Virginia?
The what?
Do you find it difficult to convince investors to come to Virginia?
Oh, no. We're obviously, I just announced the other day, our unemployment rate is the lowest we've had in 8 years. We have had fantastic growth in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Just since I've been governor, in the last 5 months, there are 79,000 more Virginians working. But listen, the challenge we face, the one headwind we face in Virginia is Virginia is the #1 recipient of Department of Defense dollars. All the military assets. We have the largest naval base in the world. all the different, as I say, the Pentagon, the CIA, all the defense intelligence, all national security apparatus and the different bases we have. That's great, but when the federal government's cutting defense budgets, which we are going through today, that hits us harder than any other state. So our goal is to protect what we have, but most importantly, what are those jobs going to be 10, 20, 30, 40 years from today? Right. Building, diversifying the economy for those 21st century jobs. And as you know, Forbes magazine just rated Virginia the #1 state in America to do business. #1 in America to do business. Why? Low regulations, low taxes, pro-business environment. We have a team in Virginia that wants to get deals done.
So what other sectors except for biotech are good for business?
Well, obviously, our agriculture. We're second to none in agriculture. You look at what we do with soybeans and tobacco. We have peanuts. So we have we have the deepest port on the East Coast, as you know, with these gigantic Panamax ships that are going to be coming through the Panama Canal next year. The only port on the East Coast that can handle them today is the port we have in Virginia. So using that asset is so important. Obviously, we're large on aerospace. That's why we're going over to the Farming for the Air Show, as well as our advanced manufacturing. We've invested millions in advanced manufacturing.
And for the final question, back to bio, if you could talk a little bit about the organizations that could help potential investors coming to the States. Do you have any organizations focusing on bio? What about the state organization focusing on investments as well?
Well, first I'd say the entire government, and in fact, I've asked our our Secretary of Commerce to come up with a plan for me in the next 60 days, a very comprehensive plan of every asset we have available today. More importantly, put a plan together of how we take bio to the next level, bringing the universities in. So obviously the state government is very important, and we're going to be the leader on that. But, you know, listen, we've got the folks in our Virginia biospace already today. We have a very lively organization that's very active in doing it. We have a program called Catalyst, which is our universities, the state government, and bringing together the private sector where we'll give grants to these businesses to come in and grow the business. So it's state infrastructure, it's the business community. But as I say, we have tremendous assets also leveraging the federal government. So we want to assist businesses. If you're coming in trying to get a federal government grant, I actually enjoy calling the White House or the Department of Defense saying this is important for Virginia. So we have tools and assets I don't think any other state in America can deploy.
Governor, I'll let you speak to the investors and talk about those assets. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.